Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we have an interesting comparison between two Dell laptops. This is the Dell Inspiron 15 with the Ryzen 5 3500U and Radeon graphics versus the Dell Latitude with Intel Core i5, that is the 11th generation. So let's do some GPU tests. So let's look at some general pointers. The Intel CPU was launched in September of 2020. The AMD was launched in the start of 2019. So that's a very old processor in 2022, relatively. The Intel comes with Iris graphics. The AMD comes with Vega 8 graphics. In terms of physical cores and threads, both have 4-core 8-thread CPUs, but the Intel has a base frequency which is much lower, which will make it efficient. The turbo frequency is also higher on the Intel, but that depends if the motherboard supports it and all of that. So you can see the Intel is the faster of the two in terms of numbers at least. Let's talk about the GPU because this video is about the GPU. The Iris graphics has about 100 MHz more of boost clock compared to the Radeon Vega 8, which can only go up to 1200 MHz. So we might get to see some advantage from the Intel CPU, Intel GPU maybe. So let's get into it. So the main differences between the two laptops is this is running on Windows 11, the latest build, and this is running on Windows 10, and the screen sizes are a little bit different, but let's get into it. So this is a GPU test called Matthew 83, and the amount of spheres, we have put 100 spheres, and you're getting a frame rate of about 10 to 11 FPS. You can see it over here, and the GPU is completely pegged at 100%. This is the Intel Iris graphics. Now we're going to look at the AMD system. This is the AMD system, same test, 100 spheres, getting a frame rate of about 10 to 11 FPS, which is very similar to what I was getting on the Intel. GPU is AMD Radeon with AMD Ryzen 5. So you can see the FPS, how similar they are. And I'm going to dive deeper into the when these CPUs were released, but you can see how it's going. And this is a stable 11, sometimes dipping into 10. This is also a stable 11, sometimes dipping into 10. So I know you all are looking at 10 and 11 FPS and you're like, that's very low, but this is with 100 spheres. So we are just doing an extreme test. And what we learn from this extreme test is, and mind you, this is a GPU only test, we are not talking about CPU performance here, that a 2019 release AMD CPU and GPU is at par with the Intel GPU of 2020 Q3, and the Iris architecture is newer than Vega 8. Vega 8 is pretty old at this point. But the FPS that you get is more or less the same. On an average, maybe the Intel is generating 1 FPS more, but that too only the temperatures are right, and the CPU gives it information at the right time. It's very limited. You will not see it that often. It's not a very big advantage that the Intel system has. That being said, we know that generally the Intel's CPU, now I'm talking about, perform better when it's single core performance that you need, and the AMDs perform better when it's multi-core performance. It's a general idea. It's not a given rule or a written rule anywhere. It's a general the general consensus is that. Now obviously with the newer generations it's here and there, but yeah, that's the general idea. So that's all for this video. I will see you in the next one. This was a very different type of performance video. I hope you all enjoyed the live values and the live information that was coming at you, and this is as real as it gets. But obviously this is not real world performance. This is theoretical performance. A laptop on an everyday basis, what you do with it depends on you, and what performance you want depends on you, and what you need it for depends on you. So obviously I can't tell you that you should buy this and you should buy that. It depends on what your use case is. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. And I can't say wear a helmet while using a laptop, right? Yeah, see you in the next one.